Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome to a Star Citizen, or rather my first Star Citizen video. We just finished Invictus launch week, and it was quite a ride, let me tell you that. I want to give you some of my thoughts on how I perceive this event and how I think this event went. So, without further ado, let's get into it. As you can see, you're in my Constellation Phoenix right now, but we're gonna start off here and take a walk to, or take a flight rather, to Area 18. So just to start with Invictus launch week, let me tell you, I generally really liked the event. The event was cool and it had a lot to offer in terms of military ships. Now I know that many people have been complaining about not seeing other ships, but due to the fact that it was a military event, we never expected to see them. Right in the beginning, something that I personally really enjoyed was the Invictus launch fleet in the R-Corp and traveling around Herson and Microtech as well. That was really cool.
Auto drive is now on.
Another thing that I personally really enjoyed was the 10-year warranty on the ships. So that was pretty cool as well for me, because I bought some ships that I really enjoyed, such as the Polaris and other ones. But I think there was also kind of a little bit of a disappointment on the players' side, and one of the biggest disappointments for me, for example, was that there was no ship flight ready sale or concept sale. Now, the concept sale is a thing because it has, for me, a concept sale is not that important, because the concept sale basically just means that there's a new ship that we have to wait for anyway, while we were still waiting on old ships that have been promised quite a while back. So I personally would have enjoyed more a direct to flight ready sale, but nevertheless a concept sale would have been nice. I know that there's been the rover from Origin, but this has been released early, and if it's the only concept sale or rover, I don't know. Most people didn't really enjoy that that much, like a new ship sale. Especially, it would have been like a cool ship from like a alien manufacturer. But anyway, the event in total was pretty cool. I really enjoyed the fact that we could see an Idris and the Javelin inside the game, inside the verse for once, even though the fly path was scripted and everything, but still, that was pretty cool. And one other thing that I really enjoyed was that we had the possibility to rent free ships, which was pretty cool, because I have some friends who never played Star Citizen, and they really enjoyed having the option to be able to rent these ships for free, also bigger ships like the Carrack, and take them for a spin. And I have quite some friends who actually bought a game package after that, because they enjoyed it. Now let me tell you something that I didn't enjoy, which was server stability. And no video game company usually, you know, aces the release of their patches or big events, but I mean, from time to time it has been really frustrating, and I feel that it was really okay in the beginning of the week, but in the end of the week it got worse and worse. And therefore, let me turn that down a little bit here. And therefore it has been quite disappointing for new players as well, who wanted to go down to like R-Corp or something to check out the Invictus launch week, because the biggest challenge anyway was to get into the game, due to server instability, crashes, and everything. And what I see as the most frustrating there was the waiting queue, because sometimes you get on with the waiting queue and you be like place 150, and you wait down all the way till you're like to 12, and then the game just crashes and you have to, you know, wait at the end of the queue again. So that was pretty frustrating. And I could see that many players, or especially new players who wanted to take part in the free fly event, would have been upset by that and maybe not have bought a game package, because they couldn't even get into the game. And for a game like Star Citizen that is still in development, I mean, most people who play, like you and me, we know them, but when you try the game and you can't even log in, even if you're willing to forgive the bugs in the game, not even being able to log in is quite annoying. So that was kind of my biggest, not disappointment, but like my biggest problem with this Invictus launch week. Another thing that I personally didn't like that much was the Drake event, and I'm gonna include the Drake event to the Invictus launch week because it was right after and it was all one big kind of weekly or week event. So the Drake event was pretty cool as an event, and I really liked that they moved the location, because the hangar, the big hangar, that looked pretty awesome, and I like the hangar ambience for spaceships, or for a spaceship expo anyway. So that was pretty cool. What I didn't like, first of all, was the paints that were missing. I know we saw some paints over the week for all the spaceships that were paints. It were not that much, but we still saw some of the paints for some spaceships. So the next, or mostly fighters, but also bigger ones like the Valkyrie. So not having any paints on Drake, there was a rather big disappointment for many people. Now for me, I'm not that big of a Drake manufacturer fan, so, and I own like a Caterpillar and that's it. But for many people who are fan of Drake ships, who maybe own a Cutlass Black or a Cutlass Red or Blue, it would have been pretty cool to see at least a skin for the Cutlass, like they did for the Freelancer, a black skin for the Freelancer, and that's it. So that would have been pretty cool to see them. Another thing that I liked about the Drake event was that you could rent the Caterpillar, because the Caterpillar is basically a really cool ship. It helps a lot with trading, and it's just a fun ship to fly around as well. So that was pretty cool. The best thing for me personally was the black Freelancer skin. And I can't wait, I can show you that here. For me to be able to have, I put it on the Freelancer Max because I use that the most often. Let's see if it worked. Nope, it sometimes resets itself or doesn't even show. Alright. Anyway, there would be a black Freelancer skin. Let's see if it's on here. Nope. Well, there's a black Freelancer skin in my hangar inventory, but you know, no pressure. Well, anyway, I would have a black Freelancer skin somewhere, but it seems that it didn't really work. You can see it sort of messed up here at the edge. It sort of turned a little black, and oh well. Anyway, if it works, that would have been one of my favorite aspects, because I hate the orange Freelancer Max. I enjoy the Freelancer Max, but I hate the orange on it. So that is one of my favorite things this Invictus launch week. Another thing, I bought also the blue one for the Phoenix, just because I'll like it. Maybe I'm gonna give it back for store credit or something, but for now I thoroughly enjoy it. So that was pretty much my thoughts. If you have any comments, questions, or let me know in the comments what you liked, or also let me know what you didn't like, because I think that the community was pretty split about this Invictus event. Some really enjoyed it, some really hated it. I can say I love the event as an in-game event. I would love to see more in-game events. But I can tell you that there were certain aspects that disappointed me as well. So for me it was kind of a mixed event. Some things were pretty cool, some things were, well, less cool. I think one of the biggest disappointments was no direct to flight ready ship for most people, because most people wanted to see a ship directly in going to flight ready. I know for me one of the biggest ships that I'm anticipating is the Polaris, which I totally understand that it's quite a while until we will see a Polaris in the game, but maybe like surprise us with a ship nobody was expecting or something like this. That would have been pretty cool, especially if you take like Drake for example as a manufacturer. Drake is a very established manufacturer and therefore has a lot of ships that are already flight ready, and the style of Drake is very well worked out already. So like I can't imagine that the Corsair for example would have been that big, just to, for example, just as there could have been other ships to release or to move directly to flight ready and surprise the community there if there's no concept sale. On the other hand, I understand that there's no like concept sale for alien ships, even though it would have been cool, but it was a UEE naval fleets expo, and that would have made it kind of weird to put alien ships on sale if it's a UEE expo. If you have any questions, thoughts, let me know. And that was a short one for now, and I want to say thank you for watching, and we see each other in the next one. Goodbye.